What's one thing you miss about your ex?
The sex.
Fuck. Her ass. Are you annoyed that she misses that?
Nah,
You don't care?
she belongs to the streets.
She belong. Do you have anything to say about that? This is really sad. I feel like you should like have a hug now or something. Just make it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Resolved.
Is it though?
Damn. Imagine if the roles had been reversed. This is the problem with people not having accountability for the things that they do. They're able to just say something that is very damaging to someone and just laugh it off. Like, what makes her think it's funny to say that if she would not like if he said the same thing to that person about his ex? You could tell how awkward she feels after the whole thing. It's like, oops, did I really just do that? Yeah, you did. Knowing this person had a mic up to your face, knowing that they are blocking this to potentially put it on the entire internet, and now everybody knows what you did and what you look like. I'm not gonna say that, men face more heartbreak or situations like this than women do, but I will say that women are lauded for it. When that happens, everybody rallies by their side, especially if it's a man doing it to them. But the minute the roles are reversed and it's a woman doing this to a guy, everyone's laughing with the females because it's funny, or the females aren't held accountable for it. The very same social platforms that were supposed to praise us women for these behaviors are ironically becoming the weapons being used against us to show us up. Because honestly, no matter what gender you are, it's never okay to treat your significant other like this.
You don't care?
She belongs to the streets.
On the flip side, you're with someone who you know has these obvious red flags. Don't then act surprised and hurt when they do this when you were the one who decided to be with that person knowing this. Now, I'm not saying he knew about this. This could have been something that just caught him off guard. But he seems to not be that phased, or he's trying to save face because he is embarrassed. Regardless, I wouldn't be surprised if dudes like this are like, nah, I'm not committing to this person. We have a physical relationship, if you know what I mean. But then these same women will treat people like this and then go on TikTok or other platforms and claim how men won't commit to them. This is the reason. Most people don't hear it from the other side of the story or don't care to. But the camera doesn't lie. But I think the boyfriend, who probably will be known as the ex-boyfriend by the time that freaking camera rolls off of them, had the right response. He was really cool-headed with it too, because I would have been like, you know what? I was gonna say the same thing. And then watch how fast she wouldn't find that funny.
Like you hate women or something. Like, what's up with these questions?
Well, why would you assume that I hate women just because I'm questioning them?
But these questions, you say something like, why are women something, blah, blah, blah. But why do women think this? Why do women think that?
What are they, 4 years old? Isn't one of the major complaints that many women have about men is that they don't listen, or they don't ask them what they want, or they're not open to communicating? Now, a literal man is asking you as a woman to voice your concerns or to voice your point of view, and you have an issue with it to the point where you equate him inquiring you as to your point of view as him hating women, and then you wonder why people call women vapid.
Is it possible to ask questions without being labeled a sexist?
It's the way you ask them, I feel like.
How should I be asking?
Why didn't you ask them, like hey, so
why
do men think this?
I mean, I have a question as a woman. Why are so many women into these freaking wingspan eyelashes that look like Snuffleupagus eyes? I just have a feeling wearing that much weight on your eyelids is going to prematurely droop your eyelids. Our eyelids weren't designed to have freaking centipede legs on them. I don't know when or why that became a fashion statement, but there's a way for it to look good, and there's a way that just makes it look like the gaping maw of some very voracious, supernatural, eldritch entity. Like, dial it back.
Exactly, but you're asking it from your point of view.
What point of view is he supposed to ask it from? When he's asking the question, he can only ask it from his point of view. Oh my god, how embarrassing. I've even heard freaking toddlers make better arguments than this. For us to have open discourse, or for us to come together, especially when it comes to the gender concerns of society, we have to ask each other questions and be willing to hear the answers and then talk about it. Open dialogue. If I ask you a question, hey, why do you do this? Me asking you is me wanting to know the answer. So that means that I can only ask a question and it be from my point of view. Unless you state that you were asking the question on behalf of someone else, asking a question naturally falls on the person who is inquiring as being the person with the point of view asking the question. I don't know. That whole statement to me just sounded so brain dead. It's hurting my head to even think about. You know, you have these clips or you'll hear people say certain things and then your mouth will just fall all the way open and feel like your jaw is loosening off and you'll just be left there for a good 5 minutes wondering what the hell you just heard. Wondering if this is a stupid Olympics or something for who can sound the most ignorant.
Women, women, women. It's never, why do men do this?
What are you talking about? Most of the conversations I hear behind the scenes between women when they're talking about men is why men do this or why men are like this. It is always about men doing something and women having a problem with it. The only difference is that women don't really try to open discourse and ask men these things. Most of them will just shit on them behind their back or in public and not expect them to fight back or defend themselves. And it's not just a man thing, it's a passive-aggressive thing that women do to each other as well. I have seen women who were supposedly friends with each other talk about each other behind their backs, and they'll just tell their other friends or people who they want to fit in with and say, yeah, this person does this, Sheila does this, Ali does this, but they will never actually go to their friend and ask them, hey, did you do such and such? Why did you do such and such? They'll just spread a rumor about them and completely destroy their reputation in the name of what?
What would you like me to ask men?
Why do men think that they are the shit? Why do men think that they have to take money? Or why do men think that women have to do cooking, cleaning, all that stuff, and all they do is go to work? Stuff. Why?
I feel like this is a PSA on why not to do drugs. You'll have people out here complaining about this stuff, but then they're the same people who will go through life and navigate around these situations without actually having the ability to communicate with the opposite sex, and then get upset and then cry on TikTok why men did this or why they ghosted them. Maybe if you'd opened up and asked all those questions in the first place, you would have gotten the answers. But the problem is they don't care to know.
Possible to ask questions without being labeled a sexist?
It's the way you ask them, I feel like.
How should I be asking?
Why
them?
didn't you ask them like,
Hey, so
why do men think this?
Okay, so what you're basically saying is don't ask us any questions that will require us to use our brains and think, or hold us accountable for our actions, or require us to be compassionate outside of our gender. Basically, bow down and worship blindly without having the audacity to overstep and question us. But also, if you do that, we'll totally be unattracted to you and only go for the guys that don't do that. While also end up putting you all in the same exact box when those guys break our hearts.
I'm so confused.